Hello, my name is Zero Empires, and I'm bringing you a matchup here between ZT Ezerim, playing in blue as Huns, and Molly, playing as Huns also, in the north as red. And this is on the Arabia map, so it's a typical Arabia Hun war, and don't be put off by that, because I promise you it will be a good game, as I have seen it for myself, and I was extremely impressed. So, we've got both players now in the feudal age, just advanced this second, and Molly there just going up himself or herself. Molly is a female name, so we don't know the gender of these players. And I did look online for their ratings on Voobly. However, Voobly was down this morning and I couldn't get their ratings, so unfortunately I'm not able to tell you what their ratings are. As far as I'm aware, it's not a pro matchup, but they are good players and they do demonstrate extremely good tactics here on the Arabia map. So Molly now pretty poorly there, losing 4 villagers and his scout, or her scout, and that's not good. It's quite early game and Ezreal is able to take an economic advantage there, as he has not lost 4 villagers and his scout, although he was forced to produce a couple of spearmen, but that's no problem at all. That's going to help him to prevent any attacks that are coming in. I also want to thank AOC Box for providing this recording. I'll provide a link to their website in the description so you can check out any more of their recordings if you so desire. So Ezerim now with a stable up here, producing a couple of scout cavalry to scout his opponent's base and try and pick off some of those exposed villagers where possible. And these villagers are rather exposed. They would be quite easy for Ezerim to pick off. That's 3 knights there. It's not 3 knights, sorry, 3 scouts there. And I can't believe this, right? I'm doing this recording quickly before I go to a barbecue, and I did the recording. Oh yes, it's great, it sounded good. Oh, you stopped recording after you counted yourself in. Well done, Zach. So I recorded it and I didn't actually record anything because I'm an idiot. So now I'm recording it again for the second time, but it's not a problem. It's a good match, so I really don't mind. Okay, so Ezerim now with a watchtower coming up here. 2 villagers sent over to Molly's base, and he's got 3 scouts here as well. I'm surprised that Ezerim doesn't go over to this area here where the lumber camps are. Oh, he is doing that now. That's good. He was just waiting for that watchtower to be completed, so any villagers that try and attack him, he's able to lure back to the watchtower to their death. Possibly to their death. Okay, so Molly now building a watchtower of his own, which would be the correct response. Ezerim trying to wall his watchtower in to prevent any ground attacks. In the feudal age, or well, before you research ballistics, no, not ballistics, sorry, murder holes, towers aren't actually able to attack units that are at their bases. So if you were to send 3 or 4 villagers over to a watchtower and attack it at its base, then the watchtower would not be able to attack you and you'd be able to take it down. As you can see, this watchtower here, unable to harm that spearman there. And that's supposed to be like that. It's prevented in the, I believe, Castle Age or possibly the Imperial Age, where the murder hole research is available from the university, and that allows you to attack units at the base of your towers and castles. Okay, so Ezerim retaining his 3 scouts there, although not doing too much damage altogether. Molly is quite well protected. He's got a couple of spearmen over here and this watchtower here, so Ezerim's not going to be able to do too much damage at all. Archery range coming up over here, and let's see if I can fast forward this, because it never goes so fast at fast forwarding when I'm got fraps going. That's not too much of a problem. It's because it's quite a long video. I can't afford to do an hour-long recording and then upload it into about 50 million parts. That just gets annoying. And as you can see, these villagers over here attacking this tower. The tower completely ineffective at attacking back. So that's going to go down. That's going to be lost for Ezerim. Okay, so Molly somehow taking a slight lead here. And that's probably due to Ezerim having less of an economy as he's gone more into building units. He's still producing the scout cavalries at the stable. And he also looks like he's lost those 3 scouts. I missed that, but he has lost those 3 scouts. A second archery range coming up here for Ezrim. However, Molly is technically behind because he did lose those 4 villagers at the start, and he has been harassed for a good majority of the game so far. So, what's Molly going to do? The logical thing to do is to out-tech your opponent and cut through their weak feudal age army. And I think that's what Molly will be doing. So right here we've got Ezrim with 3 archery ranges coming up now. He's probably going to produce skirmishers from them. If not skirmishers, then archers, because that's the only other option available to him. Molly completing a wall off here for his lumber yard. Ezrim, on the other hand, no walling off as of yet. Although he probably doesn't feel like he needs to, as he is going aggressive up here. Those 2 villagers now completed these 3 archery ranges, and is Ezrim using these archery ranges at all? Let's find out. Yep, he's creating archers, so that's 3 archers coming up there for Ezrim, and his 3 scout cavalries already on the field. So Molly's not looking too bad. I mean, he's not too exposed. He has got the relevant units to combat the scout cavalries fairly easily. The 5 or 4 spearmen there able to easily pick off the cavalries if they get in range, or if the cavalry stick around for too long. Ezrim now with his 6th archer coming up, and a slight wall off there for him as well. He is still open, so it wouldn't surprise me if he goes to get a wall off soon as well. Okay, so Ezrim just patrolling around Molly's base, seeing what he can see. Molly's not doing too much, getting a stable up there. And what's this? Molly has just clicked advance to Castle Age. And that means he's going to be able to get out knights, or he's going to be able to get out cavalry archers, that's the word I was looking for, from his archery range that doesn't exist yet. Or he's able to upgrade to longswordsman, or he's able to upgrade his spearmen to pikemen. Not that he would upgrade these spearmen to pikemen anyway, because they're just underpowered compared to the knights. Anywho, so Ezrim with quite a clear lead now. That's a whole 200 score in the lead, as he is producing more and more units from these here archery ranges, and a push there from Ezrim with 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 archery ranged units, and he'll be able to pick off villagers quite easily. He'll be able to pick off these spearmen extremely easily. That's if he doesn't lose too many men getting past this town centre here. Able to take out those spearmen extremely quickly. Now what is he going to do? Is he going to hang around there and try and take out this? Probably not, because that would serve no purpose whatsoever. He's just going to pressure Molly into staying inside of his base, or garrisoned inside of his buildings. So Molly now not collecting hardly any resources at all. He's just got wood coming in, and not even much wood at that. However, he's not too worried at all, because Molly is already in the Castle Age. So now Molly is able to produce these all-important knights, and there's 3 knights coming out for Molly there, another one queued up here and here. So that's going to give him a total of 5 knights, and believe it or not, 5 knights is going to be able to take out this army fairly easily. And we'll just see how that goes right now. Okay, so Ezrim with a 100 score lead now, so Molly is starting to close the gap, producing a few more military units. However, if he isn't able to get his villagers collecting resources fast enough, he will fall behind again. However, if we look at this, look, Molly able to kill off Ezrim's feudal age army extremely quickly. And they're all trying to gang up on one knight. Wow, look at this. 5 health for that knight. 3 health. 1 health. Oh, Molly, you have a very, very brave knight there with only 1 HP left. Ezrim unable to take it out. And so Molly now taking the clear advantage. That's 600 score lead for Molly. And is it any surprise, really? No, not at all. Molly managed to get those knights out, completely cut through Ezrim's army, and that was a massive expense to Ezrim. He lost a lot of resources there on these units, and he's lost every single one of them. He's got, what, 2 spearmen left on the field? 2 spearmen, my, and he's anticipating that Molly is going to come straight over with a counterattack to his base and attack him at his base. And if Ezrim wasn't quick to wall off here, Molly could easily come in with these knights and gut his base. However, he did react very quickly and he got his walls up. However, looking at this, these knights are going to bust through these palisades extremely quickly, as palisades are very weak to attack from knights anyway. So Ezrim there now with the stone wall coming up behind, and it makes sense. We all know it makes sense. And Ezrim also doing the logical thing of advancing to the castle edge right now to be able to combat Molly's knights, because he knows for a fact that he's not going to be able to kill Molly off with merely a feudal age units. So he's going to be working extremely hard now, and extremely from behind as well. That's 300 score behind Molly. He's going to be coming from behind to try and take out these knights, and it looks like he's pretty preoccupied with trying to contain his base now from these knight attacks. Almost advancing up to castle, which is always a good thing. There's nothing wrong with a bit of technology here and there. This blacksmith, however, under attack and having to repair that quite quickly before Molly busts through. He cannot afford for Molly to bust through now, because even if he garrisoned all of his units inside of his town centre, he's not going to be able to garrison them all in there. It only has a limit of 15 villagers, and he certainly has more than 15 villagers. And also, he is going to be unable to hold off this amount of knights with just one town centre as a defensive building. So let's see what Molly does. He's going to bust through here, and Ezrim being forced to destroy a farm there to complete this wall off, and he's running very low on stone, so if Molly was to attack around here, he'd be able to get through. However, it looks like he's focusing on this area here completely. Ezrim now with a monastery, and this is the cool tactic that I was telling you about. 3 monks now being queued up, and what is he doing? He's only going and converting Molly's units. This knight now able to break free, and he sees this mangonel over here and decides, Mangonel, I'm not happy with your presence, I'm going to kill you. And so he goes to attack this mangonel with his knight that he just converted from Molly, and it makes perfect sense. So now converting yet another knight. Ezrim now producing more monks. He's just put up another